Good afternoon, my dear students. Myself, Professor Lovepreet from the Department of Commerce of Gujranwala Guru Nanak Khalsa College. Today I'm going to discuss something about the nature and scope of financial management and the relationship of it with other disciplines. So coming to the financial management, we can say financial management is comprised of two words, finance and management. It means managing the finance, means if you want to grow and develop and you want to survive in an organization, with an organization in the competitive field, you need to manage your finances so well that nobody can let you down, right? So coming back to the scope of the financial management, as like finance is needed for the managing and all of the things, similarly in that way, first of all we have to make sure what are the estimation of the financial requirements of an organizations are. The financial requirements are those requirements on the question of which the answer lies, that where the organization should lead. So the financial requirements of an organization should be very clear and cut. Organizations policies should be there, so that there is no further queries or no further obstacles that come in the way in the proper processing of all of the manufacturing, production and everything else. So estimation of the financial requirements is very important. Next is deciding the capital structure. Now capital structure decisions are the most essential part of the organization. Capital structure includes the structure of the capital of an organization, whether it is the use of debentures, whether it is use of the equity, whether it is use of both of them, or you can say the mix of debt and equity. So the organization's debentures are the one where we can say there are fixed rate of interest which they are they claim on, and whether there are profits or losses of an organization, that does not matter for the debenture holder. The matter only is the fixed rate of interest which is promised by the company, and this is to be given a monthly, quarterly or annually, whatsoever it is decided on. And the debentures are the one who claim the interest in whether the company is in the year of losses even. And the use of equity funds, where the equity funds are the owners fund, they are called, and owners, equity holders are the real owners of the company. Those equity holders are the one, they claim upon each and every asset of the organization. If there are profits or losses in an organization, after paying off all of the debts and everything, the whatever left surpluses are there, these are to be given to the equity. That is why they are called the real owners of the organization, as they have the voting power also. So many of the rights are diluted in the hands of the equity holders as well, right? And the mix of both of them, that is debt and equity, it is the debt equity mixture which a capital structure every other organization must have, because there is little safe side from the viewpoint of the equity also, and little safe side from the viewpoint of the debenture holders also. So a mix of properly of them, both of them, is quite important, right? Third point is selecting the source of finance. Now selecting the source of finance, in this there are various sources of finance available: corporate finance, investment finance. You can take the loans from the banks also, from where there are many other private organizations which lend the money with a greater rate of interest. There are non-banking financial institutions, they are called. There are I can say when the organization we can talk about is of partnership form, then the partner sometimes borrows money or lends money to the business house, and they take back the interest accordingly. And there are many other sources of finance like these, right? Next is selecting a pattern of investment. Selecting a pattern of investment means investment is an essential part of an organization. Whatever you invest, that must be such that you reap out the benefits, the best benefits from that particular investment. If you don't reap out the best benefits, it may lead your investment into your poor hands, right? So the pattern of investment which you choose is very important. Whatever you earn, you must spend something, and after that you must provided to the provided that surplus to into the other investment thing. So you should have a good investment manager or investment house in an organization that advises an organization where to invest in and where to not. So making good security portfolio of investments of an organization is very important, right? Next is fifth point is proper cash management. Cash is what the something that is very liquid and it is very important for an organization to hold on, and managing that cash is very important because cash is an easy thing which can be represented easily. So cash is a one of which the inflow and outflow must be properly taken care of. If not, then the inflow and outflow may misrepresented easily by the some people some culprits who want that particular thing to be stealed on. So better you manage your cash well, manage your cash books very well, proper maintenance of the journal entries of the cash accounts should be maintained. Whatever the inflow of the cash has come and outflow where you are spending that cash, that record must be maintained properly, right? Next is use of surpluses. Use of surpluses here is whenever you are blessed with the surplus amount, then better you invest that particular surplus in a good way. Take help from your investment manager then where these surpluses must be spent on. Whether you want that surpluses to be divided into your equity shares as dividends, or whether you want that surpluses to be kept as retained earnings in your organization. This choice is completely yours, but making the proper use of that particular surplus is important. It may be in form of any reserve fund, it may be formed of any like general reserve fund, capital redemption reserve. You can make use of such surpluses and reserves as well, right? So coming to the last point of implementing the financial control. Implementing financial control here now says is like we have already discussed about the investment plans, the pattern of investments, like estimating the financial requirements, capital structure. This all needs to be controlled properly. So controlling all these things is an important task, and controlling these things requires the proper way out, proper planning, implementation of the controls. There should be not any of the loophole which may lead to the destruction of the company and which may choke the growth and survival of the company as well. So controlling all these financial requirements and the financial things are very important, right? So coming back to the relationship of finance with other disciplines. There are many disciplines in an organization. There are many departments in an organization. All these things are related to one thing, and that is finance, cash. So coming to the first point, that is purchase function. Purchase function is what when an organization purchases something from the supplier, and that supplier takes the finance or whatever the amount or fund from the business enterprise, and that gives you the whatever raw material you are supposed to take, right? So the finance is what role the finance plays over here is, if you have enough finance with you, whatever how much finance you have, you should be very clear with this thing that how much you are having with you and how much you can purchase with that particular finance. So purchasing completely depends upon the finance. If you have money, you can purchase. If you don't have money, you cannot purchase. If you have enough money, you can purchase smartly enough raw material. If you don't have enough money, you cannot purchase enough for that. So maintaining that balance is very important. There should not be a loophole that you are promising some supplier to asking from him to follow you and giving you the so and so amount of raw material with you, and you are not having finance available with you. This is not going to be the thing at all. So purchase function is to be properly dealt with the finance function. Okay, coming back to the next one, that is the production function. Now production function. Production is the one thing which is again related directly to the finance. If you have good finance, you will be purchasing the raw material accordingly. But you have to purchase the raw material in such a way, and you should produce that particular thing in such a way that you can easily produce that or manufacture that complete thing. If you like purchasing and producing that particular thing in a halfway, then you may lead to one of the disaster. So better you link your finance with your production, how many units you need to produce, how much the sales are going to you do with that, because whatever you produce you have to ultimately sell that, and you better sell it at the profit. Nobody wants to sell it at cost or less than the cost price. So better you produce only that particular amount or quantity which you can easily sell, right? Next is the distribution function. After the manufacturing or the production function, you need to distribute your particular quantity to the distributors, to your customer, because customer is the ultimate power and customer is the only king of the market. If your product is not good or not at remarkable points, then the customer may not be happy with your product, and it may lead to they may churn out your costs. And so the distribution function should be such that you can easily is such that you should always take the finance in consideration of that. Next is accounting function. Accounting is related to finance and cash, and finance is directly here related to accounting. That whatever you are having finance with, you should be easily making the accounts of that. You should be having a proper record of the transactions, whether it is the primary thing, the journal entries of the transaction. You should be properly maintaining an accounts of each and everything, so that nothing can be missed out and nothing can be left over, so that at the point of time you get whatever information you needed, you should have at your power, right? Next is the personal function. Personals are the human resources, and human resources are the assets of an organization. If a human resource, if you feel like humans are the cogs in the machinery, then this is not going to be a thing in today's world. So personal is directly related to your finance. Your personal is somehow be divided into three parts: the skilled, the semi-skilled and unskilled. So the finance you should hold it, you should have with that. If a person is unskilled, then he should be paid according to the requirements, according to the the capability of a person. If a person is semi-skilled, and according to that. If the person is a skilled worker, then he has to be paid according to that capability of his. So the finance function is important here in the personal. If you don't provide finance proper to your personal department, then the salaries of the organization to which you are paying to the people, they may not be happy with you, and there must be a labor turnover thing can come in front of you also. All right. So last I would like to discuss about the R&D function. R&D is research and development function of an organization. This is the most important and most latest thing which we can talk about, is that research and development is a thing which goes on day to day, which goes on in the upcoming days, and it is very important. Every other organization is competing today, and they are trying to have a competitive edge with all other organizations. If you want to succeed in an organization, you should definitely have a good research and development department with you, which is again related to finance. Finance is to be provided to the R&D department, so that they may go on with 100% or 110% with your research and development programs, and with give you the good innovations and things later on. So these were the topics we have covered today on financial management. Thank you so much.